So actually, last time, I forgot to turn off Bizhawk, and it shuffled somehow. I think I had accidentally unpaused, and so it shuffled to a different game, and so I'd actually manually set it back to Final Zone here. So this game's really weird. It's like a Botom simulator. It's a lot more like detailed compared to the previous Final Zone. It's playing properly, right? Okay, good. Okay, here is a new-ish one. I don't know if this showed up in the first stream. I don't think it did. But this is Wario Land 3. So the big difference between Wario Land 3 and Wario Land 2, aside from just generally, it's a different game with different levels. But the mechanical quirk is, while you're still invincible, you don't have all the abilities that you did in Wario Land 2, or I think Wario Land 1 you'd have all the abilities that you gained in Wario Land 2. A lot of them are not available to you at the start of Wario Land 3. Maybe you get new abilities as well, but you have to gradually get them as the game continues. So it's a bit more of a Metroidvania, as the comparison often is. I guess these question marks are for abilities that you don't have up the jump. Okay, I guess that's it then. I'm gonna assume that's the only demo we have. Sorry, my buttons aren't doing anything. Let me make sure. Okay, they're mapped properly. Sometimes, if you're turning on the controller while Bizhawk is starting up, I found that it will sometimes be interpreted as the controller 2 instead of 1. This is kind of neat that it has Japanese built in, but I'm going to start with English. Probably cheaper to manufacture a cart that has both. So you get the idea that Wario is a treasure hunter. He goes around and just finds valuable artifacts. So the only real difference between what he's doing here and what he's doing with in Mario Land 2 is that there Mario's in his way. I'm kind of surprised that this very obviously evil villain is impersonating a god in the Western release of this. I feel like this was pretty early for them to be doing that. Obviously, Nintendo doesn't have a big problem with that now, with Xenoblade and such, but definitely in the 90s, that would have been some of you are much more concerned with. When was this? Like 2000, early 2000s, maybe? Feels somewhere in that area. So you can see the difference here in that when I jump and I try and ground pound, it doesn't happen. I don't have that move. Well, I guess aside from that, there's been a huge amount of things that I missed. But that's very Metroid-like, having just a box that says, "Here is the ability that you need to use to progress." Which, I don't know. I'm not hot on that, but whatever. The sprites are great. I think Wario's hat bouncing off his head is new, right? Oh, I can't really swim. It's also the case. I feel like this look for Wario is more occasional. Like Wario is sometimes just a little gremlin in this game. Oh, I can't pick up enemies. Yeah, so there's definitely a major loss of abilities here. Oh, I walked into the second bowl and reorienting myself. Okay, here's a game that hopefully I'm confident in. Probably a boss coming up. Oh. Hey, this thing seems like it sheds pieces when it's damaged. I can still shoot the pieces, so it's okay. Okay, now here's... I think there's another one where it's kind of unreadable. Hopefully if I just do this, it's fine. So Gyrus does this thing, I forget if I mentioned it. A few of the games, this and 3D World Runner both do this, where when you start a stage, it plays the same animation that you do when you die, and to make that happen, they actually give you an extra life and then kill you. So that was a weird thing that I had to work out for the shuffler, because I had to make it not shuffle when a new level starts. In the advanced stage, I'm taking the opportunity to pour myself another glass. I don't like I went to Church's Chicken and I got a soda, but I don't like drinking the soda right out of the plastic cup, so or paper cup rather, and so I'm pouring it into a glass first. It's probably the worst performance I've had so far, but I have an excuse. Okay, now we're heading into the Interlands, right? So this is close to the end of the original game. I think Earth was the final level in the original game, and then that'll be Mars, or not Mars, Mercury, Venus, and the Sun, which are the new ones. Here's another new game. It's by Oceans, which means it's bad. This is Jurassic Park Part 2, The Chaos Continues. This is another one that I added because maybe Smite would be able to do something with it. I don't know much about it, and I kind of don't want to know much about it. It's a very Contra-like run and gun. Um,
InGen must be eliminated. I will have control of Jurassic Park.
it's a pretty nice
As we speak,
intro cutscene.
my men are on their way. Have your scientists ready to go immediately.
It's like based off a Jurassic Park cartoon that, as far as I'm aware, does not
Prepare
exist.
traps! Go! Go! Go!
But the weird thing in this, as far as I know, is that you have human and dinosaur enemies, and you're actually not supposed to kill the dinosaurs. You're supposed to switch to a non-lethal weapon when you attack dinosaurs, and it will make your it'll prevent your like dinosaur killing allowance counter from going down. I'm just waiting to see if there's some track sequence. But I feel like I'm not gonna know the difference. Also, I don't know which weapon is which. Let me go to the options, please. Um, I don't know what dodge does. Shoot. Weapon A, weapon B. I guess weapon A. One of these is non-lethal. One is lethal. Energy leveling, I think, is if you have two players, you can press the button and give yourself equal health. That's not right. Yeah, let me just hit fast forward for a second, see if anything shows up. It doesn't look like it is, so I'll just go ahead. I think it's that you pick which level you're doing. Oh, we're destroying the raptors with gas. But you see that 100 dinosaurs at the top? I think it's the amount of dinosaurs you're allowed to kill. I haven't watched either of the Gremlins in years, so I don't know the significance of tomatoes. I guess it's his favorite food. Mowgli or not Mowgli, what's his name? I know they're Mogwais. Gadget? Something like that? Gidget? So you see these orbs they drop. Those are currency, which you can use to buy some upgrades. The music in this game is really good. Gizmo. Thank you. So these are different upgrades. I assume the Gizmo doll is an extra life. That, I guess, was a heal. So none of those seem that useful to me. There are better weapons, or better items. Oh. There's the one that increases the power of your weapon. This pogo stick is nice. This is your invincibility item. This one that increases your improves the range of your attack. If you can find that, that's nice. I want to say that's E. And I think there's an item that increases, excuse me, your max health. I think every level has a store. And I don't think any of them are particularly out of the way either. But now that I know that the bottle is a health refill and not a life extension, then hopefully I'll remember not to pick it up when I have full health. Oh. These enemies have a lot of health. So your basic weapon is not, at least at the start, is not that good. But fighting these enemies takes some work. Oh. I want to jump towards them to get better attack range, but that wasn't happening. This would have been a lot nicer if I kept my needle. I would have just been able to cut right through these blocks in the center. Wanted to go vertical. Nope, 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 vertical. From here. Whoa. Seems like I gotta let it go somewhere. I can't break it through that in the bottom. I think you like actually have to hit it against the stars to make it change the direction at all. Oh, I guess I have to hit the star block too. I'm just trying to hit it at a different angle in case maybe it gets me something. Ah. At least next time I should be able to launch right in there. Oh. What's going on with my controller? It's doing a whole lot of inputs that I wasn't putting in. Yeah, I keep going to the right for some reason. Let me try plugging it in, seeing if that helps. I'm letting go of the controls and it's still going. Oh, that's why. Because it was the intro movie, okay. It was shuffling on the intro movie. I was very concerned. Let me check to make sure that I have that in my notes then. Type laser. Yeah, it is shuffling on the intro. I was having trouble. It looks like this one I was not able to find a good value that both captures the intro movie and all the other things that we need to be concerned about this game. Someone who is better at isolating that stuff than me might have to do that. I did end up trying to put a June mode on, some Grace on Power Rangers. I don't know if it's good enough, but to maybe get us out of that loop where we just get stabbed repeatedly by that one guy. We're gonna fight an antlion, aren't we? I saw a post a while ago about how like video games, if it seemed like antlions are the coolest thing, or the most dangerous animal in the world. So in Mad Stalker there, in Mad Stalker we have a lot of things that like grab us and a lot of like little machine gun guys. So I was trying to make it manageable by being very selective about what causes damage. Generally, for those weaker enemies, they have to actually like rush you. But it's still pretty intense for shuffling, so I think it works out. Getting a whole lot of achievements here on Adventure Island. I guess just because I'm starting it for the first time. And it's the sort of thing that has like, oh, you get this, you did this basic thing, you get an achievement. I didn't shuffle between levels there. I didn't fix that problem yet, so I'm assuming it has to do with the power-up, the state of the power-ups you have. Or I guess possibly your food meter. I don't know if you can, what your basic food meter is at. Oh, these can cause some problems. So, the gimmick with Adventure Island is that Master Higgins here, who is, I don't know why, I guess he was actually originally a like pro gamer who is known for his really good button mash speed in, I want to say like Devious or something. a guy named Takahashi Meijin. Okay, I don't think Meijin is the real name. I think Meijin just means expert, so people just call him Takahashi Meijin. But, unflatteringly, uh, here he's really, really hungry. So, if you don't constantly get food, he dies. And there are a few things that can happen here, like if you hit a rock, if you stumble over a rock when you don't have a power-up, it costs you some food. And so I've got a shuffling on that, because it's kind of like damage. That's what might be happening. Okay, once you can stock items, so maybe if that changes, you shuffle. I thought also maybe a reason for it would be, well, okay, I lost the power up, so that's a shuffle. Okay, next time I should just, because I'm not pressing the button, I should block low, and that'll give me a chance to recover. This is the Makaimura for WonderSwan. It's the WonderSwan version of Ghosts and Goblins. Capcom has a surprising amount of exclusive games for the WonderSwan. I don't think they developed all of them in-house, so they're kind of iffy. Especially I've heard Rock Band Forte, the WonderSwan game, which is a completely separate game from the Super Nintendo Game Boy Advance one. That's apparently much, much, much worse. And has ridiculous robot masters in it. This one, I don't like the music. I don't know if the visuals seem okay, but I don't have a strong taste for Ghosts and Goblins as it is, so I can't say whether it's better or worse. I'm just gonna hit fast forward and see if there's a demo. It doesn't look like there is, so I'll just go. Jump A, shot B. That sounds right. There's a feature in here. Tips, I believe. So it's asking for a password. You can get these passwords, put them in, and unlock features. Like a whole bunch of. It's like a cheat menu basically. And there's a level select in there, which we did use for the Arcade Bit Halloween special. We had a challenge based off this. Look, to me, or did like Red Armor have a massive ass? Let's take a picture of that. So you don't have double jump in this. If you hold the button, you can rapid fire. That's nice. As per standard, Ghosts and Ghouls, the game doesn't really let up. So I was saying in this, playing in human form is harder in general than playing in a the demon forms you can get later. There is no advantage to, like, no secret bonuses or anything related to staying as human. There is a secret bonus related to playing as demon correctly. So the game just hugely favors being a human. Jumping is a little finicky in Legendary Acts. If you start with a little bit horizontal momentum, then you end up just not being able to stop, which is what I had forgotten there. I tried to make a slight jump to the right and then adjust back to the left, but I forgot that I was going to keep on moving to the right. I want to get that heart, but I got swarmed, I guess. See, the game gets very puzzly like this, but that'll only slow you down a whole lot, most likely on your first run. Once you've learned all these things, the game gets a whole lot easier. I think that's why this game people feel very strongly about. I do think it's one of the best games on the NES. But a big part of that is that it's intensely skill-based. I'm just thinking, she leaves her hat. Pauline leaves her hat, her purse, her parasol on every level. How many of those does she have? Like, if she's shedding 100 of these over the course of this game, it kind of feels like it's not that big of a deal if she loses one or two. The Queen level, it shows you how some mechanics work through these demos, which is a very nice touch. It's a tutorial without feeling like a tutorial. Which I think is in part possible because this is a very, very gameplay forward game. This is a very, like, butt-heavy day. I've beaten this game more than once, but I don't remember all the levels exactly. So to a certain extent, I am just kind of winging it. I don't think we can't go down this way. So, we'll need to take some other path down. That thing is the one thing that can kill us here, along with fall damage. But if we're holding the key, then there's a moment where we drop the key if we fall too far, as opposed to taking damage. I don't know if it prevents us from dying from big falls completely, because I do know when you hold a key and you get hit by an enemy, that damage is prevented. That thing's gonna be dangerous, because we gotta go up there. Okay, not possible for us to go up through this route. Probably gonna have to turn this the other way. And I think if we stick to the left side of this, we're able to dodge the enemy. Sometimes there's stuff behind the door. I was just kind of messing around. But that's how you get behind the door. You throw the key over so that it doesn't automatically trigger. Because entering the door is automatic if you have if you're holding the key already. Okay. We can duck under those shots, but I was trying to get upwards, and it seemed like we were not in position to do that. Laying down is going to be more dangerous. Cool. Alright. It seemed like that worked out nicely. Oh, nice. We're at 84 lives, and I think Infinite Lives had already set us down to 69. Getting lives is super easy in this game, so Infinite Lives are not even really necessary for this. You'll probably stick at 99. Okay, this weapon does have 2 levels. This green weapon, if you go forward, it shoots back. If you go back, it shoots forward. It seems like the first time you get it. I think Radiant Silver Gun in particular is not broadcasting well, which is probably just my, hardware and all. I don't think there's a whole lot I can do about that. I don't know exactly what killed me there. Screen is getting cluttered. One nice thing in Balloon Fight is that they have both a button for like rapid flapping and tapping to flap. So if you don't like rapidly flapping, if you don't like button mashing, you don't have to. Ooh, here we go. I'm okay at Balloon Fight, I think. I got a whole lot of achievements there, I think. Seemed like the sound is popping off. I wonder if I should put in an issue that it might be preventing achievement notifications. Oh, that's also the demo. Let me make sure in the spirit. Yeah, it does. Okay. So there's two modes here. Arcade is the harder mode. This mirrors the actual arcade version, where you only have one hit point. If you get hit, you die. Then PC Engine mode, which is what we're going to be using. It's still not far removed from the arcade. It's a very accurate port, but PC Engine mode gives you a life bar basically, and it's a very hard game. So I think it's fair either way. So see over there, the 5. That's your life, and effectively in the arcade it would have just been 1. So here, you get powered up quite a bit in this game. The weapons, though, I forget, you might have had to pick them up in the arcade version, that might be a difference. But, you can switch between them, and there are circumstances where one's better than the other. This is my standard favorite, is the Kusarigama. If you, besides having a good range, there's an item that you can pick up which powers up your weapons. So your sword hits in this nice arc. The power's okay. I think that's some people might instant kill you looking at that guy. But you also have a shuriken, which is long range and goes in spray. The Kusarigama, which swings around, and then a bomb, which is your high power move and good against bosses. This game, I don't watch, I don't read Hajime no Ippo. I know that it seems like it's a pretty popular series, but this is a treasure game, and it's sort of their take on a Punch-Out. It's a lot faster, and you have like a whole move set that you can learn. Okay, so it doesn't shuffle in the demo, that's nice. But you can see it's all about these like rapid fire hits. And this is one of those things where I think there's an upgrade in the shuffler going in, which is going to be a lot better than what I'm doing. 6. But I feel like the patterns are probably a lot harder to read. I found the one thing that happens in this game, and I don't know how to deal with it, is if your guard gets broken, there's some upgrading thing that I feel can mess with the shuffler, but I don't know what it is. Because I wasn't familiar with the game. I just put it in because it seems to be similar to Punch-Out, which I was also working on. It doesn't seem like there are cutscenes. So, you see? That's about all I know how to do. Oh. I don't know if there's a way that you can avoid that. but it seems like he counted me in. So maybe you can't reliably dodge all the shots. That that sound effect sounded a little different than the normal Neo Geo to me. This is Aero Fighters 2. It's a vertical shmup. It's really weird. Like the actual shmup part is uh like modern, maybe. Yeah, I guess it would be modern warfare at the time. Doesn't seem to shuffle at the intro. But then you got the ninja pilot, and that's like the least sensical pilot they have. It's definitely like an intentionally comedic game. Uh, I'm sure it seems like it's not shuffling on the track sequence. I'll look at one. No, just repeat. Okay. Okay, so two buttons. So you got a robot. You got I don't know this guy is an idol, a ninja, lady and her daughter, I guess, a baby, a dolphin. This guy. Let me pick this robot. Oh, so you could brain the jar, I guess. Uh, I don't know if there's strong opinions on the other Aero fighters. I didn't want to add all of them, so someone had just said something like Aero fighters, so I picked the one that it seemed like people were most positive on. Okay, so the levels are a little bit silly too, going by the assholes shooting their spires at us, and the Tokyo Tower that we just blew up. Thus far, this game is pretty medium as far as mop difficulty goes. That was me getting careless. I don't think like Spider-Man's webbing is like a cannon or anything. I don't know how he's taking enemies out entirely with it. Maybe I'm wrong. So one of the annoyances in this one is that I'm here to get these explosives. Oh, I was hoping that I could sneak up and destroy that guy. I was here to get those explosives, but the problem is, uh, oh hell. Okay, we've almost made it. We're within a minute. So the thing about power pellet is ah, It's had more than enough lives to last 30 seconds, though. The thing about power pellets, and it's true of the original Pac-Man as well, is that oh, that just leads me back to the menu. Power pellets transform the ghosts. They don't change Pac-Man into a powered-up state. As much as it seems that would be how that works. And that's a distinction, because it means that if you have a ghost that did not release itself from the central chamber before you got a power pellet, then that ghost is not vulnerable. So you might want to actually be selective about when you get the power pellets, because if you get the power pellets too fast, or if you've just destroyed an enemy, if you've just eaten a bunch of the ghosts and then you collect the power pellet, then most of the ghosts are not going to remain vulnerable. Okay, that's gonna be tricky. I don't know how you get around that guy. I guess the one thing you would be able to do is jump over the block. Oh man, I totally could have dodged that. Just playing sloppy today. Oh, Silver Surfer double shuffled for some reason. I doubt that. Shuffled after that death screen. This game has a lot of slowdown, but I would like to point out that slowdown means that the game is fun. A lot of stuff is going on. That's my opinion on the matter. Oh. Oh, that worked out. I don't know if that was supposed to be how it works out, but that's what it did anyway. I can go down here, I guess. That guy just never turn around. Oh. Does this move earn me anything? Yeah, it feels like a while since we played Dance Wars. Let's set this one here so you can maybe shoot over the mountains. I can't really go over there. What I can do is the 10, use a 10. Leave him to go over somewhere. You can capture that. You can protect the artillery. Take out those tanks. The music in Advance Wars is definitely better than earlier iterations, I would say. Let's put him here so maybe he can block attacks from that guy. So in this one, as opposed to Power Rangers the movie, you transform at set moments in the stage. I guess it does refill your health though. You also always have your weapon when you're transformed, which is not true in the movie. There is not a huge difference between characters in this one, aside. Although, well, in both of them they're pretty similar, but the big difference is that the Pink Ranger has a range attack. I don't think anyone else do. This move is the ending of your combo, but you can do it early. I don't think there's any huge reason you would want to. But I don't know. Something to do. There's also, no, I think, no great reason to do a standing attack instead of a crouching one. If you can jump and do this upper slash, or you can do a dashing. If you're moving, you do that dashing kick. I think the kick is, I think, generally more effective. You can see most of the enemies in this game are just variants of the putty. Almost all of them. There's a lot of putties in the movie as well, but I don't know if they're called putties in that version. But I think that the enemy variety is much better in this. Why the Power Rangers would destroy that car, I don't know, but it's something you can do. It's some kind of smart bomb. I'm not familiar with that. This, by the way, is one of the games that I have beaten before. Oh. It doesn't shuffle when you're on, it doesn't shuffle in this area. Oh, because my health is too high, maybe. Oh, at the bottom of pit, it doesn't really look like it. I think Smite made reference to this. Oh, man. But your maximum health, I think, is higher than the visual amount. So it might have been that when my health was higher than the maximum, so it wasn't shuffling. Most of the boss fights in this game, I think, are with Mitsurugi here. I don't know if there's a plot. But if it is, presumably he's the villain. Maybe he's the Silver Sword? His is the Silver Sword? Okay, So I threw this back in. Um, it seems like the... Okay, it's still not working. Yeah, so the variable that I was using to determine how you, what health they used was not correct. Or it's not as consistent as I thought it was. So I need to probably find a different one. Because it doesn't know it doesn't know if that's a platforming stage or a fighting stage or anything, so it can't do anything. The shuffler can't figure it out. So I lost my... See, this animation, that death animation plays whenever you start a stage, as well as when you die. But when you get a... What happened to me there is that when you get the invincibility item in 3D World Runner, you lose your power-ups at the same time. For some reason. I don't know why they chose to make that happen. I'm sorry, the relentless call of money was getting me here. I just have to defeat these enemies. Okay, so I think this heart increases my maximum then. Yeah, now I have 4 health. Okay. These are gonna be tricky. The problem is that I can't really aim when I'm underwater. So I have to get into a horizontal line movement. Okay, tied, so I can still win this. Ah. I made a bad showing when this first shuffled on because I was just jumping for no reason. But I think I'm okay at this game. I have beaten it legitimately. This is so bad. We can blow up the rings, so it's okay. That fire probably kills me. I thought the only way through would be to get that barrier. I guess I could have jumped up and then onto the moving platform. Yeah. Here I got thrown off. Already. The controls had thrown me off. So when I had fallen off, I wasn't able to recover. You can move a little bit to the left and right when you're... Oh, it's hard to do that under the board. I thought it was only going to affect the other lane. But we can move a little bit to the left and right when you're line changing. I think you had control while you're in the middle of the line change motion, which is what I want to show off. So the tricky thing with Pinball Land and why I'm not very good at it, well, I guess why I'm not good at it is that I'm not good at pinball. But the thing is that your progress tends to reset. Oh, that was a dumb move. I did like I thought I would. I would block the second punch because he alternates between up and down. The problem is I should have blocked up and then got myself back into the rhythm of blocking up then down. And I didn't. I just, for some reason, my instinct was dodge the next punch. And that meant that I didn't, I fallen out of the rhythm and then I got caught by the next low punch. And so I'll probably shuffle the next time because I missed the high. I'll get caught by the high punch instead. This is a new weapon actually, so my attack gets better in the next stage. If memory serves. Is that Gizmo? Why is he doing that? Or are those the villains? Are those the gremlins kicking him around? That's something that happens? Yeah, here you go. You see your attack is much better here. Whoa. I didn't know those move. Oh, I was expecting that. What was the side I wanted to show off in Maximum Carnage? Here, you can pick up enemies and throw them, which takes a second, so that's why I got hit when I tried doing it before. But it does mean that you have pretty good crowd control options in this game. Because you can pull them in, throw them, tie them up. The one issue with that is that the controls are a little too precise. That's a cool thing too. If you hit someone, if you get enough hits in a row, as in like you don't whiff, you don't just throw a punch at no one, then it results in that super hit, which can take out like a whole bar of a boss's health, or usually take out a regular enemy instantly. Whoa. This move here is the problem. If you hold the button, you get the shield, but it's very easy to do it when you're just trying to tap the button to shoot this web. Be on that side, please. Oh, is that an extra life? Those are pretty uncommon in this game, I think. But also learning where they are seems like a pretty necessary. I don't know what I was doing there. I'm still waiting for money to come in. I don't know if there's a way to improve Sin City. Okay, here's a new one. With the original Shinobi. So in Shinobi, they don't really have the complex combat in this. It's just you throw shurikens. You might have you have a melee attack if you're close. And you have to rescue kids, which is, I don't know, it feels like it's not something ninjas typically do, but whatever. I mean, I guess maybe they're like rescuing like their daimyo's kid. But even then, I think that they're more information brokers. Uh, at any rate, yeah, it doesn't seem like it's chase the terrorist. 10-0. So that's why in Shinobi, Alex in Shinobi World, they were originally going to call him Mario. It's a parody of that. So this also kind of has that line system where you can zip up and down between these two, separate from your normal jump. These guys are tricky. Okay, so now that I've saved them all, I'm able to progress. This is just kind of a weird thing where the boss appears for a second and runs away. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if the other stages do that. Marilyn Monroe is here because Shinobi is a game about Sega trying to get themselves sued. It's my understanding. Not so much this as Revenge of Shinobi, but I guess it started here. The bosses are a bit harder. I don't know if there's a... I'm not personally familiar how to fight the boss. I think... Yeah. It's tricky to hit him, too. You have to get the height just right. And you only have 1 health. So that might be a place I can get stuff. This is the original Bonk adventure. I have beaten this one before. Um, I think this one showed up in the beginning of the shuffler. Like, I think on my first session before I updated my Bizhawk, it showed up. Okay, so that shuffles at the start. Jot that down. Bonk's adventure. Okay, but it's Bonk 1. Bonk 1 shuffles in a track sequence. I don't know if there's significant differences between the paths. I'm just kind of taking them to show off because it's kind of a cool thing that makes the game feel a little bit more like it's actually 3D than Space Harrier does, because it's meaningful in some way. So I can skip them if I want. I'm just trying to turn all my stuff green. See if that makes a difference. Oh, that time I didn't mean to go down. This is another one that might actually ran through in the shuffler. Doremi Fantasy. This was one that I thought was too easy because it seems like you don't take damage very often in this game. And I think it might actually have been too easy. Uh, but moreover, I think his concern was it was too long because the game does take a while. He used a different translation patch than I did. Um, his, I guess, was older. Um, I think either that translation somehow removed the ending, or there wasn't an ending, and this game makes one. This patch makes one. Um, Weirdly, they decided to put the ending also in the title screen. That's the actual opening, so I'm just going to press it in case. If there's no demo that shows up next, I'll just get started because why watch the opening twice? I don't remember. I'm not sure if this was. This feels like one of those early games that was translated by like Clyde Mandolin. Very important in that like foundational uh, video game translation scene. See, they put that's not in the translation that Smite was using. This is by Hudson, so it's related to uh, Yeah, it's related to Bonk and Bomberman. I think Mylon here actually does appear in uh, Bomberman with Saturn. I'm not sure if you can hear the sink there. I was just washing my hands because when I was pouring root beer, I slapped myself a little. And did I bring my... No, my case of being soda is upstairs. I'm gonna bring that down. So then I might drink. More directly, this is a sequel to Mylon's Secret Castle, which I have not played, and I don't really know what that's like, but I understand it's very difficult, uh, which is a huge contrast to this. I don't think it plays significantly like it. Um, what impresses me more about this game is I feel like the sound quality is extremely high for the Super Nintendo. It feels more like you would be hearing stuff like this on the N64. They actually gave Mylon like unique uh, animations for when he's dealing with wind, which is really cool. In terms of like visuals and sound, this game is top notch. You can return and talk up there and talk to them again. Usually, it's not useful. They might just remind you of the same things that they said before. Um, there's one place where there's a secret permanent upgrade you can get by doing that. So these pants, I didn't notice this until someone else pointed it out to me. I think on Smite Stream, High Tuesday said it. But you can see your pants dancing depending on which power level you have. But the color that you're wearing is basically your health. You start off at red, then you get upgraded to blue. I think it's red, blue. Yeah, red, blue, and then green is the strongest form that you get. There's no difference in terms of your abilities. It's just purely health. This is also one where I think, even though we did give you infinite lives, it doesn't really matter because you get so many. That bowling ball is a super rare item, and I don't think they ever make a whole lot of use of it. Music notes just upgrade your health. Or just actually, I'm lying a little. This game actually has a little bit of a complication in this shuffler. We can swim later, so if we wanted to, we can return here, but there's not a whole lot to find. Aside from extra lives. So, look at your music notes. Increase by 10 if we get more pants. This game doesn't like to waste power-ups, so normally we get music notes, and it increases our health by, or it increases our lives by 1 if we get 100. But if we have maximum lives, it instead gives you invincibility, temporary invincibility. Like if you had found basically the equivalent of a star. So in the shuffler, where we're giving the player infinite lives, it's kind of a weird thing to deal with because if we give them infinite lives, it means that every not for me yet because it hasn't kicked in, but you'll always be at maximum lives, meaning that getting musical notes, which are not rare by any means, getting 100 musical notes will always result in invincibility, which isn't a game changer, but it does feel a little too much on top of an already easy game. So I'm not sure exactly how we want to go about it because uh oh, that was the worst timing. I thought that maybe only one was falling because it was taking so long to drop again. That candy we got, by the way, is to I actually don't know what the candy does. Um, it might be bubble gum. If it's a bubble gum, then it lets us recover when we fall into a pit. We float out. This game is Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa. It's one of two games that are more or less sequels to Sunset Riders in terms of gameplay. Oh, were those humans that transformed? Is that what happened? I thought they were just always cows. I thought this was just a civilization of cows. Um, but uh, there's this and Mystic Warriors are basically the sequels to Sunset Riders. Mystic Warriors is, uh, I think, visually sort of more similar, maybe mechanically a little bit. Um, this one fits the theme better because it's still like a cowboy game. Uh, basically, just like those, they're more or less Contra style games. Um, with some, I think jumping between lines is one of the, and having a sliding dodge. I'm not sure if this one does, but one hook that this does that the other two games do not is that because you're a bull, you can. It doesn't look like because one player got hit there, so it doesn't look like we're going to shuffle in this demo. Um, but yeah, we have a charge attack that we can use, uh, as in like a bull charge. You can rush forward and hit someone in melee, and it's kind of It seems like it's good because it stuns enemies, but the flip side is normally I like blue, but I don't like a blue cow. Let's go with black and white. I'm trying to figure out if my guy is wearing pants. Is that the same color as this skin, I think. Uh, yeah, so we have that line thing that's different than regular jump. So that's the Sunset Riders lineage. Then you press both, you can do this charge. That's the problem with the charge though, is that I don't think uh you can skip that animation um where you get bounced back, and so you're a little bit vulnerable. You can't go into these saloons like you could in Sunset Riders. Um, you also have health, which is true in Mystic Warriors, but Sunset Riders, it's instead one hit kills every time. So this is a little bit more generous. Zero slide? I don't think there is in this one. Your charge, I guess, makes up for it. Oh. Oh, I think that's a special weapon that I use, the like giant spinning blade. So yeah, this guy gets stunned a little bit when you charge him. I think I managed to kill him in one hit when testing. I feel like Guardian Heroes really needs a not Guardian Heroes. Guardian Legend can use some Oh, this one hasn't shown up yet. This is Gunstar Superhero. It's the sequel to Gunstar Heroes. A lot of Treasure fans don't seem to like it because it covers a lot of the same ground. It's almost a remake of the first game in that it has the same level concepts, same weapons, same bosses, or uh, stuff that is inspired by them. The concepts are all the same. Um, I actually think mechanically I like it a little bit better. It doesn't have co-op, sadly, but you have a melee attack. You actually have multiple melee attacks that you can do in different directions. Um, you have a super weapon that you can charge. Instead of doing combining guns, which I think were a little overpowered in the original Gunstar, you just have three guns that you can switch between situationally, like your basic guns from the other Gunstar, and they can switch between the guns, and they each have their own super meter. So switching the guns is also, besides being valuable for their different abilities that they directly have, rotating them is good for keeping your super meter up. Story-wise, it is actually a sequel, a distant sequel. Um, you have two playable characters who are slightly different, um, blue and red, similar to the original Gunstar original Gunstar Heroes. Um, I will say something I found out pretty recently. I'm just checking to see if this intro cutscene plays again in the demo. Um, it looks like it might be the cutscene again, but whereas here the two Gunstars are basically identical aside from their hair. Um, these two they have different sprites. Uh, also, Red's a girl apparently. I wasn't aware of that. Um, it's not very clear. Like the writing doesn't really play it up at all, but it's just something I noticed when I was reading through the manual to make sure that there's no two-player that I had to account for. Or had to at least mention, because I wasn't actually going to implement two-player one way or the other. Normally I play as blue, so I'm playing as red this time. Okay, so this shot is short range but has more power. You can also see that you can extend your health beyond the starting amounts. This is your... The shot's easy to hit with. It's your um, homing shot. This is your melee attack. This is your standard rapid shot. Blue has a different one. Blue has a laser instead. And then this is your power shot, which is useful for bosses and such. Generally, I find the homing is my favorite. But you see, the power shot is. Oops, shouldn't have jumped. The power shot bar is glowing. That means I can do a super attack with it now. So the way that the ball works is that your terrain is really good when you have it, but when you don't, game gets really game gets much harder. I'm shooting grenades accidentally because there's only two buttons. There's no dedicated grenade button. So when I'm trying to dash and shoot, and I can't decide which one I want to do, I end up hitting them both. And that throws grenade. You can't switch games in Friday because they're a little more strict about story. Oh, that was also a intro scene. Oh, that's weird. Um, Bonk's Revenge. Bonk's Revenge also. Uh, Wait, why are you on? Insert text. Want to alt shuffle on select game type. Put after watching a track sequence. I don't know what that was about. Oh, it seems like there was a achievement for not using Nimpo there because it sounded like I could hear them crying when I threw it. See him use that. Can kind of wear him down. Seems like he's not very aggressive on the ground. It's only when he's dropping. If I recall, the enemy in this game had a very stupid name. It was like General Benjamin or something. That boss wasn't a problem. As opposed to most of the Ninja Gaiden series, Shadow seems like it's pretty easy. I wasn't sure what that guy did, so I was waiting him out. I forget if the music in this game is all original. I feel like it isn't. But I'm mostly familiar with Ninja Gaiden 1, so... I think that's a heal. Oh. Recommend both? There's the floor. That looks like a gun of some kind. Okay. I gotta jump it back to that, it looks like. Oh. That was tricky. Did I fall in again? What happened there? So Bionic Commando, you can actually get a decent... Oh, screwed up. You can actually get a decent amount of health going. That one shuffles in the intro. This whole thing, it, we did run this before, but we didn't get the chance to start playing. So, this is an arcade game. This Saturn version is upgraded to add what's it? Hex, jump, dash. You know, let's put that as dash. Then it's sub weapon, I guess. You can see voice turns off when I go into Saturn mode. I think Saturn mode is also probably um, more like console balanced, but I'm not super familiar with the details beyond the addition of voices. There is an English release of the arcade version, I think, called Roga Armor Force. But you can select different weapons. So the pile bunker, and I like the hover legs. But you get to construct a different machine. There's also preset configurations you can use, and you can swap between them when you get going. This game is set primarily in Australia. I don't know if you actually use it. New Zealand. It's, I think, a sequel to or related to the game Vapor Trail. There might be a third one. But as opposed to that one being a shmup, this is a run and gun. But it feels, it's a Data East game, so it feels less precise than something like Contra. It's more just a visual spectacle sort of deal. The soundtrack, I think, is different between the arcade versions and the Saturn version. So there's your dash. One of the gimmicks in this is that if your health runs out, your machine explodes, and you're left with just a pilot running around and shooting on his own. But you can actually get your robot back. Yeah. I don't know how you do that. Maybe you have to mash the other button. There's some button that you have to mash. These guys seem like they're tricky. That's the bomb, I guess. I think you have to pick up an item to use it. The one hard achievement for that set, by the way, is so I've done the Power Rangers before. The hard achievements are that they require damageless runs of all the bosses, and that I don't know how to do because just beating the game is pretty easy. You can see how strong our super laser is in Astro Boy. So it's very good for just cutting through bosses. But the game does amp up in difficulty, so even as we increase our laser strength, it's not going to remain, you know, as effective. I think you'll see even with this one. We gotta do some dodging. We're also not invulnerable when we're using that, so I'm gonna have to keep staying on different sides of the spot so that it can't pin me down. Now, the weak laser is also useful. So I'm gonna just barely avoid us if we keep running. So this was the thing that you fought that Astro Boy comes across in the first episode of the 2003 or whatever anime, and this is one of the examples that Astro Boy in the anime is not so much a fighter; he is a negotiator because he finds out that Magnemite here is actually not hostile whatsoever. It's just have a issue with its power, and so he just helps Magnemite out, and then it's fine. The Treasure's also a shmup developer, so they have pretty good shmup sections here. Although, it's still a little clunky, so it's not perfect. There is, what was I saying? That police officer in that cutscene, his whole gimmick, I'm on number 12. His gimmick is that 14. Oh, oh. 74. Are we done? The police officer's gimmick is that he wants to blow up every robot because uh, who's acting up, and then Astro Boy has to tell him to calm down and then actually investigate the root of the problem because it's usually something better. Oh, I don't remember this. I don't think I played the bonus stages. Okay, I guess you can't get hurt during those. Oh, more stages. I think you have to go through like 3 of this one, and then there's 2 more bonus stages, or 2 more stage types, which you have to go through 3 of each. Oh, this is new, right? This is Jurassic Park, the first Jurassic Park on Super Nintendo. Um, it's actually interesting for I believe this is Ocean Software. Yeah, it's Ocean. It's one of their better titles. Um, there's 2 sections to it. There's a top-down adventure-ish thing, which is probably the better of the 2. Um, you have to explore and find where to progress. Uh, I know Smite's beat this. I'm not that familiar, um, so I can't tell you the details beyond that. But then there's sort of dungeons that you go into, and those are like a Doom's Wolfenstein style first-person shooter. Um, more on Wolfenstein, really, with a with probably a worse frame rate than other first-person shooters on the Super Nintendo, of which there aren't a whole lot. Um, but they're also just very dull. Music's pretty good. Yeah, it shuffles on the intro. I had a Bucky O'Hare uh, like action figure as a kid, not a very big one, as well as a coloring book, which I don't think I actually colored because I was taught to respect books, and I felt it was somehow misdeed to color them in, if memory serves. Um, they probably handed me down from my brother anyway, but I never got the chance to actually watch the TV show, so I'm not super aware of what it's about. But I do know the characters, uh, the look of the characters. I'm Deadeye Duck, actually. I'm not Bucky O'Hare. He seems to be very bad at just, pointing his gun at me. Oh, he's gotten better, though. I dodged into it there. Are you get him? That's pretty easy, boss. I always forget that Deadeye Duck has 4 arms.
Furballs were taken to the planet Punk!
Man, these people like to shoot everything. I was getting that feeling in the NES game where the cutscenes they seemed a little bit over eager to destroy toads. Here they seem kind of like no bones about it. They'll just blow you up. I don't know if they're like that in the cartoon. I feel like they wouldn't, like American cartoons of the era, would not let you just blow up enemies willy nilly. So I don't know why I keep saying blow up. Here I'm referring to, you know, just shooting them with a gun. I don't know what triggers him going into that soft phase. I think there's an instant KO if you hit him with a star punch after that. There's a rhythm to, you know, punching left and right. Sometimes I was losing it, so I guess I don't have it entirely right. It's not simple as just pressing left and then pressing right. That can do it. This is one of the easier games in the shuffler. We're almost done, but I'm going to keep going because I like the progress that I'm making in this. At least until I get hit again. This guy is basically a replacement of Piston Hurricane, who I was stuck on in Super Punch-Out. He's got a similar special move. Piston Hurricane is actually the original, not Piston Honda. I don't know why they replaced him, but the Hurricane, I think it's from the arcade version, whereas Honda is original to the NES game. There you go. Trying to get up there. I thought it would last longer in Mike Tyson than I would. The reason I'm kept going, although we've just hit the 2-hour streaming mark, is that my timer hasn't gone off. So I assume that I had hit streaming a little bit earlier. I don't know. There's something like a certain je ne sais quoi that I think is better once you hit Bonk's Revenge that was missing in the original Bonk's Adventure. Lock here. Yeah. Feels a little less clunky. The music I don't think is that good until later. Why that shuffle right there? Something weird going on. Oh, that's pressing the D-pad instead of the control stick again. do have a. Let me make sure. I do have a timer, right? Yeah, it's less than 1 minute to go. There we go. Nope, that's invincibility. I don't want that. That's damage. Don't want that. But okay, now my timer's off. So on the next couple, we'll get ready to go. This is, I think, one of the better levels in this game. I don't mean like the better levels in Contra 1, but it feels like it's one of the better levels in the arcade version of Contra 1. Okay. With that, time to go. I'm probably immediately gonna die when I start again. And Convoy no Nazo of all things. Let's see if there's someone online that we can switch over to. Let's quit. Hopefully, don't autoplay that Daily Show video that I was just watching. It's one of the shameful people who gets some of the news from comedy programs. Sorry, I tend to close Firefox because, if I'm getting encoding errors without it open, and if I have it open, it's going to be even worse. This Roblox tab? Anyway, yeah, so I tend to keep Firefox closed until it's ready to raid. But now we're done. I see Smite's here. So let's watch some Smite. Again, thank you for watching, if you've been watching, here or on YouTube. And I'll see you again next time. I tend to close